blessed, don't break the blessing, okay? Don't break the covenant that you're going to make in order to get well. Because, when you read in the book of Deuteronomy, it's very, very clear. It says that if you're obedient to the words that are in this book, you shall be blessed. But on the other hand, if you're disobedient, there's no gray area. It's called cursed, okay? Diseases are curses. Okay? And I don't mean things that happen because of the sin of another person or an accident. I'm talking things that we would self-induce, okay? And then at that point, when you're sick, what are you going to do? Then you're going to go to the Lord and say, oh Lord, can you heal me? Can you save me? Can you just, yes, I believe that we need to go to the Lord, but we need to have a repentant spirit, especially if that which we have, if that disease process or that problem we have is a result of our neglect for our own body, for the abuse that we've had. I mean, the Lord sets up a covenant, and we read in the book of 1 Corinthians 3:16, it talks about respecting this body as the temple of the Holy Spirit, and if we don't do it, it goes on to say that the Lord himself will destroy the temple. And it's in one of my lessons that we have, but what it's saying is this, is if you're obedient to the covenants and the principles that make the body well, you'll be well. But if you're disobedient, then the Lord sort of lifts his protection off of and allows that which we do to create the infirmities that we have. Okay? So it'll become a futile discussion. You'll be begging the Lord to heal. I mean, I've seen situations, people come up after one of our programs up for prayer, and they want to be prayed for because they have diabetes or it's going out of control, and they have this spirit of like, maybe come up, maybe the Lord will touch me. Like the gentleman who was sitting all those years at the pool of Bethesda waiting for the angel to start, that nobody was able to push him in. But the point is, you may be on the prayer line today or in the morning, but in the afternoon you're thinking about going through the drive-through and getting the shake and the fries. I mean, talk about having a self-destructive position going on there. So we need to understand that if we're going to put this together, we're going to put it together correctly. Now, let's get a picture of what the food is for in the first place. Food is a necessity to give us energy. That's what it's designed for. A necessity to give us energy. It's not, listen, of course it has taste to it, but it's like gasoline, man. It's fuel for your body. That's what you got to look at it as. As you're filling out your sheets, you're saying, how am I going to fuel my body? And that's what we're looking at, okay? Gasoline, they can say my gasoline's better and this gasoline's better and the high octane and we have the detergent in it. My friends, if you tasted gasoline, I don't care if it's 87 or 93, it all tastes the same. Tastes like gasoline, all right? But food, of course, tastes differently, and we have to be more involved with the consumption of food as fuel for our body and not just taste. Oh, I want to make it taste so good, okay? Now, the next thing we need to understand, and we're not going to do that in our first week, is we're going to log down in our sheet calories next to the columns in the food diary log, okay? But let's get an understanding what a calorie is. Calorie isn't a physical element, okay? It's not like, when you look at the package of something that has 250 calories in it, they're not mysteriously little, globulars of food or molecules or whatever. A calorie is the amount of heat or the amount of energy that records as heat that it takes to burn a gram of a certain food or a certain food substance. Okay, so in order to burn off a gram of protein, you're going to have to burn a certain amount of calories in order for that to occur. If you want to burn a gram of fat, you're going to have to burn a certain amount of calories in order for that to occur. So what it means is you have to exert a certain amount of energy in order to get rid of that 1 gram. And that's how we do all the mathematics to it. When you want to burn 1 pound of body fat, you're going to have to produce or eliminate 3,500 calories. So you're either going to have to increase your energy your activity level to burn 3,500 calories, or you're going to have to restrict that from your diet as of what it is now, which your usual caloric consumption is. So calories are going to be the numbers that we're going to be using to get to that point to create the differential. You may get on your scale, for example, and your scale may say that your weight is 200 pounds, and we'll give an example maybe in the subsequent lessons or later on in this lesson. But you may get on the scale, and the scale is going to give you a resting metabolic rate of say 2,000 2,000, which is 2,000 calories. That means you're burning 2,000 calories just for being alive. Now, if your weight does not go up or if your weight does not go down, that means you're probably consuming 2,000 calories to burn 2,000 calories to stay at exactly 200 pounds. Are you following me? If you drop your calories, if you drop the consumption of your calories or you increase the level of your exercise, you'll create a differential in the calories that you would be even having taken in your body or eliminated from your body. And if it gets to 1,200, that's how we do the math. If you eliminate or increase that calorie consumption or burn consumption to 1,200 calories a day, times that by 3 days, that's 3,600 calories. And if we use that formula correctly, every 3 days we can burn a pound of body fat, and it comes off. It works like that. There's a science and there's a mathematic formula that goes along with this. Okay? The next section that we have to understand, this is all in the preparation of filling out this sheet correctly, is understanding the food groups and understanding that these food groups all have a nutritional value to it. Okay? I'm just going to pull up on my screen here to give you an example. And you should be looking at your food diary log, your FDL log. Okay? On the far left side, it has the times, and I have the example 8 o'clock, 10 a.m., 12 noon, separating it every 2 hours, and it's a good reason for that. We'll get into that at a later time. We have the breakdown where we put what we ate, and you can see on the next one down, I have written there a cup of oatmeal, a container of yogurt. If we put in what we ate, and then on the, going across the right, we have our categories. The C is for carbohydrates, okay, and we'll get into those explanations later on. P is for proteins, V is for vegetables, fruit, dairy, butter, and oil, and again, the water, exercise, and the supplements. Week number 1, we're not worrying about that, because if you look down further on the FDL, you'll see that I put numbers in there. Like after the oatmeal, it has the number 12, and there's a reason for that, because, and we'll get to that, 12 is a representation of 120 calories. We just cut the last 0 off just so it fits in the program better, because what you could do is just get this formula and not in a PDF file, get it in a regular Excel file. And I've had a number of people just use it as an Excel file. They record down over there. They just hit the sum thing. They can count up their calories. And you'll notice, though, and the reason why I'm bringing up this point is I have these different categories, okay? And it's important that we eat from all of these categories. Now, you may say to yourself, well, I'm just going to have salads. I'm just going to have salads. Yeah, you can have just salads for a week and you think you're going to lose weight, and you probably will, but you're not becoming a healthier person. You're not becoming nutritionally healthy. You're not getting all the minerals and vitamins and proteins and amino acids that you need. You need to have complex carbohydrates. You need to have certain lean proteins. You need to have high fiber, low calorie vegetables. Dairy, you don't really need much of that, but there is some protein value in some of the dairy products. The butters and oils, well, olive oil and the omega-3 oil, if you're taking it in a supplement, or if you're sprinkling flaxseed and on your cereals and stuff, that has some nutritional value. But for the most part, when you heat up the butters and oils, they don't have a nutritional value. The point is it's okay to have a certain amount of these things. You don't have to eliminate everything. You don't have to become so restrictive that I can't eat this, I can't eat this, I can't eat this, and your whole life is I can't eat anything. And you become socially, you become a pest. People go, oh yeah, you're on a diet, but who in the world could follow this diet? You don't eat this, you don't eat that, you got a million things you don't eat. When you're following this Genesis Life Wellness program, you can eat basically everything, okay? But everything has to fall into the categories, and it may turn out that you could have ice cream, but the amount that you would normally want to have is definitely not going to be on my chart. I'll just tell you that much, okay? Because, and I'll let a little bit of the cat out of the bag. If you're going to have 360 calories of carbohydrates and 120 calories of butters and oils or fats that go along with that, 1 cup of ice cream is off the chart on both categories. That means you can't have anything else in the carbohydrate or the butter and oil family for the day. Not a wise choice, but it does fit into the blocks on our grid. The point is that we're going to learn how to use these charts as a bank account, well, a food account in the ability for us to get well. Okay, let's review a couple of things on recording it. Remember, put the time, what you ate, how you broke it down, going across, and then eventually we're going to get into filling out into the categories. But at the end of the week, I want you to review and analyze as we're looking at more videos to see what did you have that was good and sort of highlight it. It's good. You can continue to do that. And the things that you did that are bad that need to be eliminated. And then we're going to learn those certain things that just need to be substituted. Okay? Keep tuned and stick to the next part of the program. Take care.